and we're gonna have an interview here at the IronSquid Chapter 2. Guys, you just came to France. This is your second time, Nesty. How are you liking it so far here?
두 번째로 왔는데 지금 어떤지 기분 어떤데요? 두 번 왔는데.
두 번 일단 좋고 처음에 왔을 때도 되게 좋았는데 지금 두 번째 또 와서 더 좋고 또 여기서 너무 잘해줘서 좀 편하게 너무 잘 있어서 좋은 것 같아요 지금.
Well, actually, when he came the first time, it was amazing already, and we really liked it. And now actually, it's got even bigger. And IronSquid the staff members are really taking good care of them, of us. So they really like it.
Okay, maybe there is some sound problem, but yeah, I'm not sure. Dongregu, this is your first time to France, right? Any interesting stories? Like, have you tried any food or something that you really liked so far?
지금 너 프랑스 처음 온 거잖아. 그래서 지금 이때까지 뭐 재밌는 일이 있었는지 아니면 뭐 먹어본 거 있는지.
글쎄요, 그냥 한국 음식만 몇 번 먹고 나머지 호텔에서 좀 한 것 같아서 아직 프랑스 맛있는 음식들을 먹어보지 못했지만 그래도 이렇게 프랑스 이렇게 건물들도 되게 예쁘고 이런 데를 또 구경하고 또 팬분들 앞에서 또 열정적인 팬분들 앞에서 경기해서 네 되게 기대돼요. 네.
Well, it's his first time in Paris and in France in general. There was no time yet to try some delicious French food. The only place we went were some Korean restaurants, but in general, like all the event and the people, the crowd, and it's just amazing. And tomorrow we have some time to do some sightseeing. So.
Okay. Now I have a question for both of them. They are both some of the strongest ZVZ player in the world, and how do they feel about this IronSquid? They might have to play one or two ZVZ. Or
형이랑 소랑 같이 ZVZ가 제일 세잖아요, 둘이 다. 즈역션이 제일 센데 어떻게 생각하는지 이 아이론스까지 와서 지금 즈역 사실 3명이고 테란 1명인데 어떻게 생각하는지.
네, 사실 수호랑 승현이만 아니면 할만하다 생각하는데 얘네 둘이가 너무 저그전을 잘해서 좀 힘든 싸움이 될 것 같아요.
저는 그냥 평소에 테란전, 토스전보단 그냥 같은 유닛 가지고 하는 저그전이 자신 있어서 네 재밌는 경기 나올 것 같아요. 네.
Well, Nesty is saying as long as if it wouldn't have been live or Dongregu, he would be like confident to play them in the ZVZ. But because it's them, it's going to be pretty tough for him. And for Dongregu, it's like it's going to be for him. It's important is that he's going to show some good, entertaining matches.
they are being actually very respectful of each other and very mannered with these answers. Do you think it's possible to get a score prediction from both of them?
For the
Yes.
game, 몇 대 몇으로 될 것 같아 있어서 경기하는 거.
내가 한 3대1로 질 것 같아. 근데 내 바람은 내가 3대1로 이기고 싶은데 그러니까 누가 이기든 3대1로 서로 이기고 지고 할 것 같아.
네, 저는 그냥 3대2가 나올 것 같고 3대2였으면 좋겠어요. 네.
3-2?
Actually, Nesty said at the beginning that he thinks he's gonna lose 3-1, and then Dongregu was like he was laughing, but Nesty thinks it's gonna be like 3-1 either way for him or for Dongregu, and Dongregu said it's gonna be 3-2.
All right. Well, very nice answers here from both of these players. Who would they rather play in the second match, whether they win or lose? Like, would they like to play one more CVC, or would they like to play Marine King?
다음 판 어떻게 하시죠? 그냥 ZVZ가 나아요, 아니면 테란전이 종훈이가 나아요, 아니면 라이프가 나은 것 같아요?
똑같은 것 같아 그냥. 어차피 저그전은 또 심리전으로 이용하면 되니까 빌드가 많이 있으니까 테란전도 뭐 나쁘지 않고 좋은 그냥.
네, 저도 두 선수 다 굉장히 공격적인 성향이라서 네, 그런 성향들이랑 게임하는 걸 굉장히 편하게 생각해서 두 선수 다 네, 상관없을 것 같아요.
Well, for both, actually, it doesn't matter who they play because in the ZVZ there are a lot of builds that Nesty can use, and if it's Terran, it's the same. and for Dongrigu, because MKP and Live are both kind of like they like to push, like be the aggressive one, and that's something that Dongrigu really likes, fits to his playstyle. So it doesn't matter for him either who is going to play next.
All right. Thanks to you guys for joining me for this interview, and good luck in the tournament. Thanks to Rice for translating. We're going to pass it over to our two handsome casters, Kaldor and Wolf. Guys, take it away.
Welcome, guys, to the stream, and we are really excited about this.
Oh, yeah, man.
The
this
stage
is awesome. We have actually been following this tournament from the beginning, and now we're actually here in Paris. We got 4 players left. We're going to find out who's going to the grand final of the grand final.
I'm really excited. We already, we had rehearsals yesterday, and we looked at the screen, we saw the intros, but just now with this crowd, I'm really spoiled the last few days. I was in Poland first for IEM, and it was amazing with the crowd here. Now suddenly I'm in Paris, and those guys, if possible, they're even better. It's crazy. Both crowds here in Europe were simply amazing, and this is only the start of the day. I don't even know what's going to happen as soon as we have the
this
first
is
game.
the beginning, man. This is just the start, and I gotta say, I've been going to a few tournaments in Europe. This is one of the best by far with the crowd. The fans here are so passionate. You know, there's so many signs out there, so much enthusiasm, and I know that everyone at home as well, sitting at their computers, is feeling pretty much the same way.
And I had goosebumps. These guys up there, they are pumped, and of course we're going to get a couple of crowd shots later on as well. The audio is going to feed it into our stream too, so that you get all the reaction from the crowd that is live here at the venue. But, well, talking about the crowd, let's talk a little bit about the players that we have now in our first game.
Well, we've got our Terran player, Marine King, the lone Terran in this group of Zergs. We've got, it's almost a 1v3 ratio. Well, it is a 1v3 ratio. I've never been good at math on stream, but just looking at this bracket here, you can see we have Marine King up against Life, first of all, and on the other side of the bracket, we have Nestea versus DRG. There will be a Zerg in the final no matter what. Can Marine King actually overcome Life here? I think it's going to be pretty tough.
I'm not going to lie to you, that match is going to kill me. I'm looking so forward to Marine King versus Life. I mean, those guys, they played several times in online tournaments. They played also in Codes, and it's just crazy. I am so excited about this match. The last time that they met, Life took it with a 3-1 that was in the GSL, and now we have them again, and I am so sure that Marine King definitely has 1 or 2 aces up his sleeve.
Oh, he absolutely does. I think we're definitely see some proxy play, for example, maybe some sort of special Hellion build. But this is a match where we get to see Life, who is dominating right now, no matter where he is, no matter what tournament he's playing in, looks unbeatable against somebody who is really a big fan favorite and is the only Terran in the group. So I think no matter what, people are going to be pretty pumped for this match.
Yeah, they definitely will be. So at this point, I would actually expect Marine King to have a few strategies that he developed to beat Life. The last time that they played, I'm not quite sure if he really took Life that serious. Yes, you could see already in the Code S season that Life was really, really strong, but Marine King, he had very high ambitions for the season, so going into the best of 5 maybe. He didn't prepare as well as he wanted to.
Yeah.
Now he has a lot of material to work with. He has his own experience against his opponent. He saw, of course, all the matches that Live played in the past. And I would be very surprised if Marine King has not 1 or 2 sneaky strategies in his repertoire for today.
You know what's something that's really interesting to me is if Marine King advances and Nestea advances, we have a rematch from Open Season number 2 finals, where we had Boxer, quote-unquote, up against Nestea when Nestea was in his real prime. Nestea is making a big comeback right now, and that finals, I think, would be pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, back then, Marine King with his old idea. I loved how that changed.
Yeah.
I actually would have loved if he would just stuck with Foxer.
Yeah.
Everyone called him Fake Boxer after Slayer's Boxer entered StarCraft 2, and right now he's known as Marine King. And he kind of started this King thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have so many Kings right now, and Ghost King thankfully changed back to Beyond. But still, Marine King with this idea, I feel that's... I would have loved to see him as Foxer, but Marine King, that is a lot of style, and I think most people probably don't even know him as Foxer anymore.
Yeah, he is the king of Marines. He's the best Marine splitter out there, and he's going to have to show it today if he wants to be able to overcome his potentially multiple Zerg opponents here.
Yeah. And guys, one of the things that you should definitely do when you're watching the tournament right now, make sure that you tweet about it. I know that there was a lot of hype, but I feel that there was definitely not enough hype. So definitely make sure that you go on Twitter, go on Facebook, link the stream to everyone, tell people that you know a couple of the guys in the US. I think it's night in the US.
Yeah,
right
it's some late hour, but who cares? People
They're
need to
probably
wake
asleep. Wake them up.
You need
I
to
don't
call
really
them,
care.
give
Call
them a text
them.
message.
Yeah.
Make sure when you tweet about this, tweet at IronSquid Gaming and also hashtag it's just Squid2. Squid2 is the hashtag that people are using. So it's
IronSquid
actually
Gaming is the Twitter account.
Yeah, Squid2 is a pretty cool hashtag. I like it. It sounds like a code word, man. We gotta get the word out about Squid2.
Well, we have Todd actually in his boss outfit. He could want to be one of those security guys out of the Matrix. So if you guys need a code word and get past Todd, that's probably it. You should give it a go. But yeah, we're just waiting for the game to start because the players are already in the lobby. Cloud Kingdom is going to be our first map. You know what I found pretty cool when I came here? That they not only have their booths upstairs, but they have a separate room for each player
rooms,
here.
yeah. Every
It's
player
crazy.
literally has a room that is probably as big as your bedroom at home, maybe even bigger, where they have an entire setup of drinks they can access. It's really comfortable for them. Their coaches can come in and talk to them. You know, it's a very accessible setup. There's no sort of outside interferences. It's really, really cool.
You know what Todd actually said? I mean, they have a PC in there to train, and Todd said that he was trying to practice a couple of matches, and the biggest problem that he has is that the computers are way too fast. He was like, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
That is way too good.
He said the
equipment
internet
here.
was really good, and he said that it was the graphics and everything just flowed so well. He said he had to adjust.
Yeah. So these players have everything that they need to adjust. They have been flown to Paris a couple of days in advance, so there's no jet lag anymore. We met them the day that they arrived, and it was pretty late at night, so they could go straight to sleep, and most of them, as far as I know, slept really well.
Yeah.
So they're in the best shape ever that they could be and had time to prepare, had time to practice. We wake up early this morning, they have coffee and tea, everything is in their rooms, individual rooms here, and they are treated like kings, and
They certainly are, man. They deserve to be. They are the top 4, the finalists here. Our countdown in the game on Cloud Kingdom is started. The map is up and loading. I am so ready for this, man. It's our Terran versus Zerg, Marine King versus Life.
Marine King versus Life. This is such an incredible game. We have so many Zergs here, and Marine King had to practice for one matchup only. And we're going to find out right now if he is able to take down his first opponent. It's not going to be easy. He faced Life several times. We talked about the Code S appearance. We're going to talk about the other matches later on as well. And now, this is, of course, a best of 5, so I hope that we are going the whole distance, that we see 5 games before we then later on go into our first DVZ with the 2 Zerg players that you saw being interviewed by Todd. And yeah, talking about our interview corner, I love this Jules Verne theme that they have going here.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You know, I mean, you got a squid, so what are you going to do? It's something like we're 20,000 leagues under the sea.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm really impressed with everything IronSquid has set up here. The crowd, the players, the tournament, the orchestra.
Oh my God. That was really amazing. They practiced yesterday, and at first it kind of late the entire rehearsal a little bit, but then you just sit there, you sit in the theater, and you watch that, and it's just mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing, man. I stood on stage that I was actually shaking. It wasn't just sarcasm or a joke or me exaggerating. I was actually shaking.
My palms started sweating, like, you have to go on stage now. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I'm going to topple and just fall into the audience.
I thought maybe when the crowd screamed I might go deaf. I was a little bit concerned. That's kind of important for my job, but this is a great atmosphere here. I am so happy.
Yep, I'm too. And we actually have like a little bit more time to talk. We have to relaunch the game, so as soon as that's done, we're going to start with match number 1 on Cloud Kingdom.
Yeah.
And talking about Cloud Kingdom, what do you expect Marine King to do? Because I can certainly see him start with the cheese build on one of those maps.
I absolutely agree. This is a map we've seen Marine King proxy a lot because of the size of the map. There's so many different locations where you could actually proxy. And it looks like the game is loaded, but we're going to remake it.
Yep.
So regardless of what I just said, I think a proxy on this map is definitely a possibility, a strong one. And this is something that Life may expect. He knows Marine King. He's a Korean player that's extremely famous. His builds are out there to study.
The one thing, every single time someone approached me and talked to me about the match, everyone thinks that Life is going to take it. Well, not everyone, but I think the odds are in his favor at this point. Because of the last best of 5 that they played, Life's success in the GSL, and just his performance that we've seen also in this Kodas season. So I actually feel if Marine King tries to stick with his standard style and doesn't do anything like a little bit uncharacteristic, Life is probably just going to kill him.
I think so, man. Marine King is definitely going to have to pull out something special here. Life and his Codes group showed nothing but constant aggression, very heavy pressure play. And I think part of that might have been because he wanted to go home early. He was a little bit bored. He also needed to practice for this tournament and get on a plane. But if you think about that, he didn't show very much late game in his Codes group. So that gives Marine King the feeling like maybe he's going to pressure, but at the same time, he could just now sit back, relax, defend Marine King's heavy aggression, go into the late game, and kind of throw Marine King off a little bit.
Yeah. I feel really important in a series like this is to get into your opponent's head. This is what made Nesty actually get into this tournament. When he was playing against Parting, I don't know if you watched the series. If you haven't watched it, make sure that after today you're going to go back and you watch the UODs Parting against Nesty. It was an incredible series. It was not that long as you would have expected, but it went the full distance, 5 games. And I think the key in that series was that Nesty was able to get into Parting's head.
Yeah.
And he certainly got his number. And I feel this is exactly what Marine King has to do against Life.
Needs to do this against Life. Life right now, mechanically, and his aggression, his micro, is just impossible to beat. It seems like nobody can stop this guy. He is the winner of the Blizzard Cup. He's won a GSL. He's won an MLG. This guy is on fire.
And Marine King, of course, he is thirsty for blood now. He wants another major tournament win, and he wants to prevail in this best-of-5 series, go on to the final, meet another Zerg player, and not only fight for the 3rd spot here. So he will definitely give his all, and I'm so pumped for the next game. And I actually think we have another rehost.
I know.
Unless Life is really sneaky. I mean, guys, Life has a special tactic. And he's playing Terran today. So we are going to see a mirror matchup. We have 2 Terrans.
2 Terrans I'm looking at in the lobby right
StarCraft 2
now.
community is going to be so excited about that.
Yeah.
Another Terran player. They thought there was 3 Zergs and only 1. Now they have 2.
Life is actually like, no, I did on purpose. I've been training Terran. I've prepared for this matchup.
Marine King leaves and Life is like, okay, win. No. So we have another rehost, I think, a little bit... Yeah, off to a shaky start, but that's...
Yeah, well, I heard the French crowd going pretty nuts over that Terran versus Terran loading screen.
Yeah, they were probably really happy.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure if you saw it on stream, and there were a couple of pictures floating around Twitter, but we have these amazing lights in shape of a Zerg logo. You have the Protoss icon as well. No Protoss in the tournament, unfortunately. Party
Just
kind
for
of screwed
show,
up a little bit.
for the Protoss fans that are in the crowd, you know.
But it looks amazing.
It certainly
I really,
does.
really love it. It's these subtle details that we have here that really make this tournament so exceptional.
Just the venue itself is so convenient. We're in a great location in Paris.
That's the best thing.
Yeah.
Our hotel is actually right on top of the venue, so all we have to do is take an elevator down. We're there.
Yeah, I forgot my mouse, and I'm like, oh, so tragic. I guess I'll have to walk for about 3 to 5 minutes to go to my room and get it.
Well, you should probably mention that you were too lazy to
I
actually
was-
do it.
I was too
He was
lazy to
sitting
do
there
it.
and he's like, how much time do
I
we
didn't
have?
want-
And I'm like, well, we have a half an hour. You have all the time
I
in the
could
world.
probably do it 10 times, but, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't want to go
You
alone.
could probably do it during the loading screen right now.
Well, yeah, let's hope
Yeah.
this time it really works. Okay, we got Life as a Zerg, got Marine King as a Terran. The map is WCS, Cloud Kingdom, Ellie. Everything seems good here.
Yeah, and I think this time we're gonna really
I
start
hope
game
so,
number
man.
1 in the best of 5. It's about time. Our first Zerg versus a Terran. We're gonna see 2 of them in this tournament, no matter what happens. Let's see if Marine King is able to make it to the finals and then face either DRG on his T, or if he actually loses to Life, one of the strongest Zerg that we currently have in Korea. And Life has been, I don't know, this guy, it feels like he doesn't care.
He just doesn't care, man. He just beats everybody. He's taking everybody's money. He's just got that smile on his face, you know, that goofy grin that we've come to love. The game is up and loaded. Here it is on screen. Let's introduce our players.
Starting to the bottom left, we currently see our first Zerg player in this tournament. He's starting in blue, and it is StarTales Life.
And, of course, at the top right, in the red, for the Team Prime, formerly known as Boxer, he is Marine King Prime.
And it will definitely feed the crowd in a little bit later, guys. So currently working on these subtle things. But right now, what we have is a Terran versus Zerg in game number 1. We are currently on Cloud Kingdom. And there they are, the crowd in in the theater. The French crowd is just simply crazy. It's
They
really
are
amazing.
so enthusiastic, man. You know, I remember always looking and seeing the French streams and how many views they got back in the beta even, and just being like, wow, there's a lot of French fans that didn't know that, but actually being here feels so different, so real. You guys can hear that. We have a 10 pool, in fact, coming out here from
I like
Life.
that. I like that a lot. Life immediately tries to be a little bit cheeky here. And you know, the one thing that Marine King is really known for is just going command center first without scouting at all. And this is exactly what he's going to do here. He queued up his SCVs, so he's playing the style that you would expect from him. And this is scary. This is really scary. As I said earlier, I feel he has to change things up. If he wants to go for something like this, for his normal build that everyone knows, then Life is just going for the counter build. And now with the 10 pool, he can put so much aggression on Marine King.
Yeah, the 10 pool is such a great choice for this map. It's a 2-player map. The rush distance is pretty far, but Marine King, for that reason, is very inclined to go for command center first. And he's doing the risky version. He's not doing what most Koreans are doing right now and making it part of his wall. This actually makes him extra vulnerable. He may have to force that command center to cancel. In fact, I just don't see any way he can hold this. He's going to have to cancel. He's going to be in a position of being so far behind. And when those lings arrive, there's nothing he can really do to react.
It's going to be so dangerous. It's going to be really, really dangerous for him. And I'm not quite sure. I completely agree with you. I'm not quite sure if he can hold that off. It all depends on how much Life does commit to this. We have the 4 Zerglings now already on the way. He's building another 4 6 Zerglings already out. He's getting number 7 and number 8. The Queen is on its way. Here comes the command center. The barracks is not even halfway done at this point. And here comes the Overlord. And Life knows exactly what's going on right now. He has the vision. He sees the command center. He knows the timing. Life knows everything that he has to know. And Marine King, he will have to cancel this CC.
And Counter, he's doing the risky follow-up. He goes double gas behind this. He's not going for the multiple barracks follow-up. So he's only going to have a little bit of Marine production, and Life is going to be able to tear him apart. He actually takes down the SCV and runs into the main, preventing the wall. And if he stops that barracks, this could be horrible for Marine King. Here come the rest of the Lings. This could be game-ending.
And he blocks the spot. He blocks the spot. There is no supply depot. Suddenly the Zerglings are in. Here come the SCVs. He's trying to hold somehow. But only Tarsi can pull off something like this. The SCVs are coming in, and those Zerglings will do so much damage. Here they are, all 8 of them, and Marine King is losing units already. This is like horrible.
And great micro here by Life. He pulls back the weakened Zerglings. The SCVs do actually micro pretty well as in addition, but Marine King has already lost so many Harvesters, and Life is not done. He's actually going to run around, let his Zerglings regenerate their hit points, and then fight again. And every Marine that comes out could actually just be targeted down by these first Lings.
And he's losing so much mining time. The Marine is out, and for now he holds. But the thing is, he's down to 9 SCVs against 17 drones. And guys, let's not forget that the entire time the command center was actually not done. It's still not completed. We don't have the second mule.
Yeah, it's just now finishing. He has to morph that into an orbital that is severely delayed at this point in time. And Life is actually starting Zergling production again. He wants to put some more pressure on. He wants to make it so that Marine King can't actually mine down there.
He can Baneling bust if he wants.
Yeah, he can actually do so many different things. At this point, with him mining gas, it looks very likely he's going to go for that Baneling follow-up.
And the thing is, he knows everything. He has all the information in the game. He knows, okay, you just took the double gas, you're trying to pull something off, but you cancelled it. And he knows there is not going to be a siege tank. So at this point, he can do whatever he wants. He can try to go into the late game, can try to play it very safe, but he can also put aggression onto his opponent and just go for a massive burst. One of the problems that he's dealing with is that he was massively supply blocked, so that's why we see those 2 Overlords on the top of the screen. So finally, he can produce units again. A little bit of a slip here, but that is not going to affect him too much. Look at those Marines. Even those guys can't do anything against these Zerglings.
Yeah, Marine King so desperately trying to keep those Marines alive. Forced to pull his SCVs now out of the natural. This is exactly what Life wants to do with this. You know, the opportunity for a Baneling bust, it was there. It's still there, but he goes for Lair instead and just denies Marine King's mining at this point. He's even going to maybe take out another SCV. Great micro here by Marine King. In fact, he saves it. That's unbelievable.
Saved the SCV, but the Ling is in and he sees everything. Still no gas. He also knows about the 3rd command center. Marine King is going to go all out now with his economy, and Life is aware of it. So he has all the choices at this point. He knows everything that's going on. He's in a position where he techs into Lair, gets additional gas, he has more drones than his opponent has SCVs, and even the mules don't make up for it. So Life is now in this perfect spot where he can do whatever. He can go for Nidus, he can go for Mutalisks, he can take his 3rd base as soon as he wants. He has all the options. Marine King has nothing to pressure him.
Yeah,
nothing.
Basically what Marine King has to do right now is defend against whatever Life throws at him, whether it's fast Mutas, whether it's Nidus, whether he just takes the 3rd base and goes fast and festers, anything that Life wants, Marine King has to defend. And the choice has been made. It is Spire Tech. Marine King is trying to scout. He sees very importantly here that there is no 3rd base. So now he knows, okay, I got to get some defense up. I don't know what's coming, but I need to prepare for something.
Yeah. Speed and Aspire. He can always throw down a Baneling nest if he wants to. We don't have an engineering bay. There are not going to be any turrets. He needs a scan. Marine King needs information. At this point, he doesn't have them. I really like that he sends the engineering bay out, well, the SCV out to build the engineering bay to block the 3rd base. That's very important for him right now. So at least he knows about the timing for the 3rd base. That gives him a bit of a clue. He knows, well, you don't have a 3rd base just yet, so most likely you went into tech. So I have to deal with some kind of tech by my Zerg opponent. But he goes into double factory. He goes into triple
factory, man. And this is basically exactly what Life is going to be happy to see. I mean, how are you going to be able to defend Mutalisk if you don't have turrets and you don't have any Marines? He's got 4 Marines out right now. That's it.
Marine King tries to go for a massive amount of Hellions, and he tries to sneak them in. If he can toast all those drones, yes, he's probably going to claim the game, or at least even the score. The big problem for him is, so far, Hellions can't shoot air.
That's true, man, at least in this current version of the game.
I don't think that's going to change within the next 30 seconds.
I don't think so. And Marine King now is making add-ons with his barracks. It doesn't look like he wants to make any additional Marines, at least not initially here. So this is going to get very bad for him. His barracks not in use. He's still sticking, of course, only with those 4 Marines. And yeah, in a bunker they can fight Mutas, but outside the bunker they stand no chance.
Right now, Marine King really, he puts everything on this one card. and it's the wrong one.
Yeah, exactly. It's the wrong card. He's going double armor. He starts that Infernal Pre-Igniter. Now, notice that Life is not committing too heavily with his Mutas. He starts a few, he gets +1. He's going to go into Mutalist later on, but he's also transitioning into that Evolution tech. He's going to be able to get his upgrades out. But this first wave of Mutas is going to do so much to Marine King. He has no answer.
Yeah, and Life now also has the scouting information, which is even more important.
Yeah.
Because with him not completely committing to the Mutalist, there is an opening for Marine King to sneak into Life's economy. So Life, with the information that he has, needs to build additional evolution chambers, block it, even go for spine crawlers. He doesn't have a roach warren, he can't go into roaches, so to have something is really important for him now. And he doesn't build anything. The Hellions are already streaming across the map, and I'm a little bit worried for Life
concerned
here.
as well, man. He didn't make any spine crawlers. He's only defending here with Zerglings. Pre-Igniter was cancelled, so he doesn't have Blue Flame, but even without it, he's going to do a devastating amount of damage. Luckily, Life did pull most of his drones away from this expansion.
Yeah. Marine King doesn't have the numbers just yet. This is a big problem. And still the Mutalist in the main base doing so much damage.
37 workers killed for Life, and Marine King with a measly 3 kills. Not able to do anything with these Hellions. The supply is 86 to 42. Marine King looking so in trouble in this first game of the series.
He's going for Thors, and this is a perfect reaction to what he has scouted so far. Blue Flame would be important to him so that he can go for a Hellion and Thor composition and then deal with the Zerglings, deal with the Mutalisks. But at this point, he's up against the 3-base economy of his opponent. He's still looking at a Harvester count of 21 SCVs. Yes, he has the triple mule, but what good is that going to do him against 56 drones?
Not a whole lot, man. He can't even mind the the Thors are out, but they can't chase the Mutas away. Now come in the Lings. He's going to lose that bunker, and then once the bunker is gone, the Thors can't come off that ramp, or they're going to be surrounded by Lings and Magic Box by the Mutas. Marine King can't even mine from his natural. He does get some good shots off on those Mutas, but I just don't think it's going to change the fact that he's contained now, and Life is transitioning. He's getting his upgrades. Everything is coming out right for him. He's even starting a Roach Warren at home right now because he knows that's all he really needs.
Exactly. With the Roach Warren, that's the perfect composition that he needs in order to deal with his opponent's mech play. So Roach Warren, a smart choice for him, still dominating the map with the Mutalisks and the Zerglings. He has the perfect map control, taking his 4th now. Yes, if you want to nag a little bit, you could say he could have spread his creep a little bit better, but at this point, what does he really matter?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to his Mutalisks at all. He's still pressuring Marine King. He's still put him in a spot where Marine King can't move out of his own base.
Exactly, and his production is so limited right now. Marine King is stuck at 62 supply. If Life wanted to trade his Mutas against turrets and Thors and lose all of them, he would still be ahead in this game, and Marine King wouldn't even be able to counterattack him. At this point, he's now starting to move across the map. He's attacking on 2 fronts, a very small Link force at the front, but the Mutas actually take out a very important refinery, and as Terran players know, and even non-Terran players know, if you're going for mech, you need all the gas you can get. Losing refineries at this stage in the game for Marine King is going to put him further and further behind. He is at half the supply of Life right now.
Yeah, Life is in the perfect position. Once again, 4th base coming up for him. Infestation Pit is not neglecting his tech. We don't even have the siege mode yet for the siege tanks. So Life dragging this game out a little bit. He could have tried to go for the Baneling Bust that we talked about earlier. Decided to play it safe, and this means that he has to pay attention to what's going on. He can't be neglected for a second here. He needs to make sure that if there's a chance, he has to snipe a few tanks, because Marine King, what he's trying to do now is just build up a massive army, turtle on 2 bases, and then move out and take down as much as possible. Trade well, and put the momentum into his opponent's heart and take him out.
Exactly. This is his turtle phase, where he's just trying to sit back and build up that one army and hope to win one fight and then go across the map and win. But Life is just not going to really give him that chance. He takes out the turret here. That turret definitely not enough for this many meters. All he wants to do is deny gas mining because he knows what Marine King's composition is, and he will deny that gas.
It's so smart. It's really smart what he does. This is the 2nd refinery that he takes down, and a Terran player on 2 bases has a tough time getting the gas to make a map composition work. And Marine King is really struggling because of this Mutalisk harassment. So Life getting also the Infestors. He's going into more roaches. He has a very mobile force with a few Zerglings on the map, getting all these upgrades. And talking about that, upgrades are going to play a major role later on.
Yeah, they really are. And I mean, if you think about it, he can actually just go in the front with these roaches and try to poke away at Marine King's army. If he trades a few roaches for 1 siege tank, that is going to be a great trade for him on 4 bases now. The creep is starting to spread. He has hive tech on the way. Marine King is desperate right now for a good engagement, and Life is actually starting to break down those rocks outside of his base, getting ready for the attack.
Yeah, Marine King at this point is just trying to turtle a little bit towards his 3rd base. You can see the turrets that are being set up at the choke point. He wants to get to the 3rd, and there it is. We have now the command center on the low ground. the Iron Fest is getting a little bit cheeky and actually occupy Marine King to the right. He pulls all his Hellions there, and at the same time, Life is moving in at the third place. He wants to take it out, and with all those Mutalisks, he has a good shot. There's the lift. The Mutalisks are on the move. Where are the Thors? They need to go in right away, and they are immediately trying to defend the command center. So the Mutalisks back off, but Life achieved what he was trying to do.
Exactly.
He's laying this third base for even longer.
He forces the lift, you know, and even if he doesn't kill it, Marine King is not mining. Life is now maxed and starting Spineclaws at home. He's playing this almost like Zerg versus Protoss at this point. He's going to be able to defend against Hellion drops with those Spinecrawlers if he faces them. With the mutas on the map, though, Marine King is going to be pretty reluctant to attack like that. Thor's getting some good shots, but there's a ton of infested Terrans coming down here. Marine King needs to trade well, but so far he's not.
The siege tanks not being sieged up. Here come the SCVs. He's trying to block, buying a few precious seconds for the siege tank to get into siege mode, but it's not going to work. Here comes Life, taking down another tank. The Thors are trying to do their best against all these Mutalisks, and they were able to kill every single one of them. But Life doesn't even have to trade cost efficient here. The guy is on 4 bases.
He's got a greater Spire.
He's getting a 6. He's going into Broodlords right now. Life is dominating Marine King here.
Yeah, Life takes an early lead in this game and now starts to make Marine King almost look silly with how much damage he's able to do. Great targeting on his roaches, targeting down every single SCV he can get his hands on. Right now the Harvester count is 81 to 32, and you can guess whose favor that's in. 2 siege tanks at a time coming out for Marine King, but his production is just so limited, and Life is starting to build a bank here. He starts 10 Corruptors, and once those become Broodlords, Marine King with no Viking production is basically going to have to GG.
And here come the Lings again. He's just trying to occupy him, and he's whittling down those numbers with the siege tanks. Marine King is always trying to build up this number where he can move out. Resources lost are exactly the same, but the resources mined, that is the bigger issue here. And if you just think about it, what's the biggest problem as a Zerg player when you want to go into Broodlords? Time.
Exactly.
Your opponent is trying to hit a timing. He builds up a siege tank composition, or in general just a mech composition, and as soon as he hits a critical number, he moves out, and this is the part where you have to defend and buy yourself some time as a Zerg. Marine King can't even move out. There is no way.
He's stuck. He's struggling to even mine from his third base. He's got only 1 refinery up over there. He's trying to make some turrets, but turrets do not range Broodlords, and that refinery actually is not even being mined from right now.
We have Life everywhere. The guy could draw a heart with the creep tumors at this point.
He could do anything he wants. Marine King is really a trooper in this game, trying to stick with it, but Life is not going to give him a chance. +3 on the way for Marine King. That's very precious resources spent, and those Broodlords may just make Marine King type GG. He's got no response.
Yeah, Life could write a poem with Zerglings on the minimap, and there is the GG as Marine King ends it. Game number 1 in favor of Life here in the best of 5, our first semifinal at IronSquid.
And you can see our stage here, of course. And GG indeed, what an amazing game we saw. Life taking an early lead and really running with it. The tech choice he made. I mean, obviously with the early pool, he got a lead. He really stifled Marine King's economy. Then the tech choices, when they overlapped, just gave him such a huge advantage. Marine King could not defend against the mutas.
I was really surprised that Marine King went for this opening, because this is what you expect. This is exactly what you would expect from Marine King. A blind 14cc, no scouting, trying to be greedy. That's what he's known for. And Life knows this.
Exactly.
So we go into the best of 5, and Life is like, well, probably he changed things. Most likely Marine King is going to play something that I don't really expect, but where's the harm in just testing the waters?
Yeah, and if you go for a 10 pool, you're going to be pretty strong against a 2-Rax, for example, and that's something we thought Marine King might choose as well. And Life has shown nothing but aggression recently in his most recent games. We've seen him play and broadcast his matches, so I'm a little bit surprised as well. Marine King wanted to go for this risky opening. I
mean, a worst-case scenario for Life is that there's a command center on the high ground. Marine King is playing it very safe, has a wall at the front. Everything doesn't really work for him, so he's pressuring him a little bit. He's trying to delay the second base for just a few seconds, and then he's behind, of course. But he's still in a position with the opening that he chose, with going into an expansion right away, the Queen after the initial Zerglings, where he can catch up with this micro, and he hasn't lost the game yet. So he's taking a calculated risk. He's going into this best of 5 series, and he's trying, okay, I'm going to test the waters right now. I'm going to have a quick look what's going on here, and trying to see if he wants to play his usual style or if he actually changes things up, and everything worked out perfectly for Life.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, he played the perfect game. He made no mistakes. Marine King was just hoping maybe he's going to run his roaches in on move command by mistake, and I'm going to kill all of them with a few siege tanks I have. Maybe I can counterattack and kill a base, but it just did not happen.
Denying the gas. A brilliant move here. He walks in with the Zerglings, he goes in with the Mutalisk, and he sees, okay, you're going for a mech composition. Drops the Roach one immediately. just goes for a few precautions back home.
Yeah.
But still using the Muralist to making sure that Marine King can't execute this play. If you don't do that, if you leave Marine King alone and just let him
build
a lot
that
of time,
composition.
build that up exactly,
Yeah.
and then move out, you might lose the game because you attack at a weird angle. Suddenly, your units are stuck. Maybe you have a problem with your hotkeys. Whatever it is, there is a chance of you losing your army, then losing your base. But with what he did, he always pressured him so much that Marine King could never get this perfect
Yeah,
composition.
and
to move out.
on this map, the gases are just so accessible to Mutalists. They're
Yeah.
right on the edge. There's a little bit of space there, but when you're using only Thors to defend, the Thors are so slow, they're clunky, they take a while to get out. And when you're losing gas, you're not able to make that many Thors anyways. So really, really struggling
At this
there.
point, I actually think we're going to jump into a commercial break, but the players are already in the lobby and demanding. But yeah, we are going to a commercial break first, and then we are heading into map number 2 between Life and Marine King. It's going to be Ohana, so guys, stay tuned here at IronSquid TV. We'll be back in a few minutes with game number 2, Life versus Marine.